This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey bitch, what is your whole deal? Hey bitch, just tell us how you feel. You wished for a sign from above. Well, here's a podcast about boy sex, fucking, dating, and love. Seek treatment if you're boring as fuck. Seek treatment if you're unlucky in love. Seek treatment if you just can't take a hint. Well, seek treatment with Kat
and Pat.
Hey!
Hey! Horses, of course.
Hey, it's for horses. This is Kat.
And it is Patrick. Owen Anthony, my confirmation name, Regan. And
This is Seek Treatment, a podcast about boys' sex,
about boys' sex,
fucking, dating, and love. We're starstruck because we have an icon in the studio. We actually, if you told young us, we would be shaking in our boots.
I haven't felt this nervous / alive / fucked up / scared / joyous in a long time.
Scared.
Well, excited and scared.
Nervous-sighted.
And
nervous-sighted.
Put your ears open. Nerve-sighted. Put your ears open for the Zosia Mamet.
Mamet. Oh my god!
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for doing this for us as a special favor to us.
This is like a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah. We're both dying in a week. Did we not mention?
How exciting! Wow. Am I invited to the funeral?
1000%. It's gonna be a really curated list of just exciting voices are gonna be gathered around my coffin.
Great.
How are you?
I can't wait. I'm good.
I'm
so good.
And if you feel safe, where are you?
If I feel safe. If I'm not, should I blink twice?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in someone's basement. Please come save me.
Oh my god.
Wow,
that's like the documentary I'm watching.
It's a classic.
What are you watching?
Okay, it's called The Perfect Wife on Hulu.
I have watched some of this film.
Wait, I'm writing this down. I have not heard this. What's happening?
It hooked me. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is a basement.
There's one
Is
part
she
of it
in the basement?
She might be.
Do you guys, what does this say about me? Literally, I will be walking my dog and I pass a house and I'm like, is there a lady in the basement in the house?
Yeah.
Like that's what that just pops into my head from time to time. And I'm like, why is this top of mind for me?
Because we live in a sick world.
You're a hero.
Because we live in a sick world.
But maybe you're getting downloads from the universe and you're meant to save these people.
Oh my god. Okay, well now I feel horrible that I'm not like breaking into these people's homes and being like, shout if you're in the basement.
If you get that feeling, you have to knock on the person's door and say, let me see your basement. And if they say no, it's proof that would hold up in a court of law that they have someone trapped.
This could be an amazing limited series for you to star in. Basement.
Catherine, do you remember
also, I feel totally convinced that the cops are going to believe me when they show up and I'm like, I was doing God's work. I needed to get into that basement.
I got a download. Catherine, what was the woman's name again? The last name in the thing. It's
Sherry. Her name is Sherry Papini.
Okay, so my favorite part of the doc that I think about every hour on the hour, and this isn't a spoiler really, but like when she's found and she like a trucker finds her and calls the police and they played the 911
no spoilers,
audio.
No spoilers for Zosia.
This isn't a spoiler.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. So, and he's on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Her name is Cheryl Panini," and she's like, "Papini." Cheryl Panini.
Rescue.
Her name is Cheryl Panini.
That's a good drag name.
Cheryl Panini is a fantastic drag name.
There's nothing like paninis. Whoever invented them is so smart.
There's nothing like paninis. There's nothing like paninis would be my family plays a game called Don't Die.
Oh.
Which is like if you say something that would truly be terrible last words, we say don't die to be like, you need to amend that, you need to add something. Good. So I feel like don't die. But also maybe not. There's nothing like paninis is also
there's nothing like paninis.
There's nothing like paninis. Bye,
peace out. Like and subscribe. I die.
It's been
I've never said a sentence. I've never in my life said a sentence where I'm like, yeah, I would be comfortable with that being my last sentence. I've only said stupid sentences my entire life.
So there's nothing like paninis you would not feel good about?
I don't
That's
think
up
so,
there.
but it's like
you don't feel like it represents you as a human?
Well, unfortunately, it
does
does.
represent
But
you.
I have to, I have to change as a human enough that it doesn't. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
I have to be.
sure.
I have to become a person who there's where people will say there is so much more to him than his love for paninis, and I'm not there yet.
I know. I get it. I get it.
So thank you for coming on our podcast as we've been screaming for the past 15 minutes, but we're so happy to have you. How are you doing today? What's the vibe? What's going on? Are you in New York?
I'm good. No, I'm not in New York. I'm going to be in New York on Monday.
Oh,
I'm
fabulous.
doing press for this.
Yes, this exciting new show. Tell us everything.
For this exciting new show, you know, just a crazy, crazy romp into like medieval Italy. Just crazy times.
I love a period piece. The costumes look unreal.
The costumes were amazing.
I get secondhand like anxiety where I'm like, oh, I hope everyone's comfortable. Like, is it uncomfortable? Is it uncomfortable to wear dresses like that physically?
No, thank God. No, we were pre-corset times,
so
it was basically a sack. I amend that. The only part that I found uncomfortable about those dresses was that the trains were super fucking long, and so people were constantly stepping on me. So I was constantly having like this situation on set. And then also I ended up rigging this thing. I got costumes to give me like a piece of elastic that I would tie around me and I would hook the train of the dress up into. Because I just got so sick of like having a tail. But there was one dress in particular that I wear. It's this red dress. The train was like, I'm terrible with measurement, but I think the train was like fucking 10 feet long or something.
That's insane.
And we were shooting on location in this villa outside of Rome.
Heaven on earth.
And the bathroom didn't have a light and we were on a night shoot and I was so tired and I fully just peed on the train of the dress.
Oh my
You have
God.
to.
Do you know what my favorite part of weddings is?
What?
Peeing on the dress?
When you ceremoniously pee on the dress.
Yeah.
When the bride is like up at the altar and her dress is like, or her like train is long, and then the maid of honor comes and like fixes her train.
Oh, she fluffs it?
I literally get emotional. Like she'll always be there for her, like no matter what. They are sisters. I stand up and I say to the entire congregation, they are sisters at the end of the day.
They are sisters.
And I point at the group and I say, and no guy will ever change that.
No,
and
real.
And then I sit down.
That reminds me of when
is he there to fluff her train? No.
But Pat, you know the story when the 7th grade when I peed too fast on my basket and it got on my basketball shorts before the big game. It seems similar.
Oh no.
But I wasn't. I was also in a villa outside of Rome.
You were also in a villa outside of Rome for the big. Did you win the big game?
I can't imagine I did. It was so traumatic because it was like our first away game and I pulled my shorts down to pee before I got on the bus and I was like so excited it just like sprayed out of the toilet and then I had to like put them on and pretend they were just like wet and that sticks with you.
Oh yeah.
That sticks with you.
We're both really good at basketball for how we are, Zosia. Like I'm really good at basketball for a gay guy who acts this way, and Catherine's really good at basketball for a character actress
who's really slow speed wise.
Honestly, you guys are better at basketball without even seeing you play than I have been, will ever be, could ever dream of being. Like my hand-eye coordination is so bad that my dog gets sad when I throw the ball for her, and she's like,
"Who is your dog?"
Really?
Yeah.
My dog is Moose.
Oh,
Moose is amazing.
Heaven.
Moose is the best thing in the entire world.
How old is she?
Moose had a pimple on her butt this morning. And I was like, wow.
Relatable.
Relatable. Totally relatable. I was like, girl, I feel you. She's 10. She's 10 and she's getting all like gray in the face.
So
and it
sweet.
Makes me really sad. And my husband is of the camp of like the way that he deals with the knowledge that like one day she will die is he's like, we need to talk about it.
No.
We need to talk about the fact like that she was, and I'm like, I'm considering like Barbara Streisanding Moose and sending her to be cloned. Like obviously
Yeah.
She will live
I
forever.
100%.
So
can I tell you something kind of like weird? Is
yes.
that you know
Go ahead, Pat.
it's not going to be pleasant to hear, but I can't stop thinking about it, unfortunately.
No.
So this place where I go, like this guy's house, like he has like these.
This
he has
sorry, just hold space for this place that I go.
This place that I go, this
Well,
guy's house.
Yeah.
It's focused around my recovery from addiction, Catherine.
Oh,
And now you've outed.
okay,
And now you've
okay,
outed.
okay.
And you know how private I am about
Admit that it sounded
And-
sexual, or at least sensual. At least sensual.
It was a very sensual sounding sentence. And so he has these 3 dogs, and 2 of the dogs made love to one another, and a pregnancy happened. And
Okay.
so
Are they siblings? Is this forbidden somehow?
I don't know if they look alike for sure, but I
Okay.
don't know that they're siblings. But
Okay.
there's 3 of them, so of course my concern is like, well, the other one's
The
going to feel
third
quite
wheel.
This changes the entire social dynamic.
Did
But
the third
also-
watch, or what? Like, do we?
So I said to the person, like, well, so what happened? And he was like, and he was like, well, we walked in and we saw them,
Oh.
and they were butt to butt. They were butt to butt. They were making love butt to butt.
Interesting.
But they were stuck together, and they couldn't
Uh-huh.
get because. And then this person goes on to say this sentence: a dog's penis actually has tentacles, and so
No.
when it like latches on, and then they can't get it free.
You shouldn't go to
And so
this
they were
person's house
stuck butt
anymore.
to butt. I know.
That can't
I'm sorry
be
I said that to
true.
you, Zosia.
Also, is this person lying?
That can't
Is
be
this
true.
person
lying?
That can't be true.
It's,
Okay, but however, I'm
Butt
reading
to
this
butt.
but please. I'm reading this trashy mystery novel right now, and there was a sentence in one of the chapters I was reading last night where this guy was describing foxes and why like female foxes wail when they're in heat is because the male's penis is barbed. So it's
Yeah.
like not a pleasant experience.
Oh my
Isn't that
god.
So like,
interesting?
is this a thing?
It's like every animal. I will say we really got off easy
With the smooth
as,
penises.
as humans.
Yeah,
Because everyone's like, "Did you know that?"
I would say not smooth, just non-spiky.
So
maybe.
true.
Yeah, and then they're like, and duck penises, by the way, are corkscrews.
People
love
love
to say to you at a party.
That's what people, yeah.
But like, also, is that true? I just feel like all of this is a lie. I feel
Yeah.
like this is
What perverted
I
scientist
know.
is going in there
I
with a
don't know.
microscope
I
and
just feel
seeing
like
the
there would
tentacles?
be.
Wait, Catherine, your Wi-Fi is a little.
I
bit,
know.
like,
I'm really
choppy
sorry.
in
It's
and out.
humiliating.
No, it's okay.
I'm
it's
trying
okay.
my
I just didn't want you
best.
to not know.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen all those, like, our Wi-Fi is the only good Wi-Fi? I don't know who it is, but those commercials that like apparently we now have, like now we have commercials again on like
I
whatever.
know.
I'm like, how is this a thing?
But
But
you know, I say good for them. Good for them. They're making a comeback. They're having a second act.
commercials. It's the renaissance of
Mhm,
commercials.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's what we're in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in their comeback stage. But it's like those horrible things where like they're trying to sign their kids up for camp, or like the guy has the job interview and it's like, your connection is unstable, womp womp. And then they're like, well, I guess we have to hire this other lady because like, and I'm like, wow, it's really, really going dark with your like, with your internet vibes.
Yeah, but that's such a good idea for a commercial because that's of course everyone's worst fear.
Everyone's worst fear is that our internet keeps out.
My worst fear is happening
what was it?
as we speak.
But you're also like, I don't know. It's not that it's unstable. It's like you're just a little delayed, which is also kind of making it like a little more. It's a little more interesting.
Totally.
It's a little it's avant-garde.
It's
Just say
Picasso.
yeah, you did it on purpose.
Wait, what trashy mystery book? Because you know I love mystery books.
Oh my God. It's all I read when I'm working because it's like the only thing that my brain can encompass.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to read anything else.
Yeah.
I just finished The Hunting Party. The Hunting Party? The Hunting,
Who is it by? Who's it by?
Lucy Foley.
I'll look it up.
She's a Brit. Those Brits know how to weave a trashy
know.
mystery.
They literally know how to weave a trashy mystery.
Yeah, like a sexy, trashy mystery.
Wait, Catherine, you frozen?
Oh no, but in like a really fantastic position.
I know. Someone on my work Zoom got frozen, like truly just about to say something yesterday, and we waited for like 10 minutes because it seemed like they were like kind of setting some gravitas for like what they were about to announce, and then it was like truly 10 minutes later, and we were like, we do think she's frozen.
Oh no.
Um,
Sometimes it is hard to tell though too. You're like, are you just thinking? Are you just thinking?
Imagine if Catherine wasn't frozen and she just was sitting like this.
She just genuinely was holding that position.
Wait. Okay, she's gonna log. I'll wait for our Well, I'll just indulge myself here. You know that Shoshana is one of my favorite characters of all times.
She's also one of mine, so that means so much to me. It makes me so happy.
Do you like when people say that, or you're like, get over it?
No, because I also love Shosh. I love her so much. And she's back. And she's back. And she's better than ever.
I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it.
Catherine, you're so commercials right now because you're back.
You're so good. You are back.
Have you heard about my Wi-Fi? You know, this is okay. What were we talking about? Sosh? Because I heard Sosh.
Shosh.
Yeah, he asked about Shosh. But tell us about your Wi-Fi first. I would like to know this. I want to know the saga of the Wi-Fi.
This really is my nightmare right now. Like,
are you in your apartment?
I'm in my brother's apartment. This is what always happens to me, Sasha. This is what happens to me in my life. Whenever I leave, sorry, I'm making sure I'm on the right network. Whenever I leave New York, I let my apartment. The only day that I sublet, that's I end up having to come down. And so I'm looking for a place to stay, even though I live here. So I'm in my brother's apartment, making sure I'm on the right network. I'm so sorry. What did I miss? And also, how laid back and fun is this?
I asked
it's so real. It's so relatable.
It is.
It's so commercials.
It's so commercials. It's so where's the beef? Famous commercial. What was going? I said to Zosia, Shosh is one of my favorite characters, but then I added this interesting moment where I said, do you love when people say that, or are you like, get over it? Which is like important to say, I think.
That's what I was wondering as well.
Because it separates me from some random gay guy who says it. I actually like have a level of awareness, of course.
You're like, but also
I totally get it.
But also addendum. No, I love when people love her because I love her so much. And I was saying this I was talking about her in another interview earlier and saying like, she's really the only character that I've ever played that I miss.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like I'm not a method actor. I don't have like a crazy process. I don't like write a backstory. Like I kind of just like, I'm a real like feel it out in the moment kind of a gal. And so I don't really think about the characters that I've played. I don't in like when they're put to bed, except for her. Like I think about her all the time and I like wonder what she's doing and I missed her.
I wonder all the time, do you think she's still married?
That's a great question. I think she's still married, but not to the same guy.
Oh, cool.
I think she's on husband number 2.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads. We usually like to ask on this podcast, who were you, who are you, and who do you want to be?
Yes, so, let's start from the beginning. Yeah, start from the beginning. Tell us, what were you like in high school? What was your vibe? How did we get here to the star you are? And what's your big dream?
Okay. Wait, also, I just feel like we need to have a moment. Up in the corner of this screen, there is a duck. And I'm like,
wow, with a corkscrew peen.
With a corkscrew pee. With a little.
That's what we call a synchronicity. And that's all exactly where we're supposed to be.
That's a kismet moment.
That's our logo. The Sea Treatment logo is a picture of a duck's head.
Just a little duck. But underneath the surface, what do we have? What do we have going on?
Horrific genitalia.
There's a lot going on down there. Okay. Who was I? I was a really weird, sad little kid who was like, didn't have a ton of friends, was like a total nerdy horse girl.
You were a horse. Oh, so you were a horse girl. New segment. So you were a horse girl.
You guys, I was the horse girl.
Wow.
It's my whole life.
How did it start? How did horses come into your life? How did they gallop their way in?
How do they come on through? Okay, so I also am one of those people who like, do you guys ever see someone running with ear pods in?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how are those staying in your ears?
Yeah, I have such a relationship with this because I think that actually my ears are. Catherine, what did I say again? My ear holes aren't the right size.
My ear holes are not the right size. They're not the one size fits all that everyone else's are.
But I've actually found it to be kind of a mental exercise where when I'm running, I will say it feels like it's gonna fall out, and then I'll just say to myself, "But it just feels like it's gonna fall out. It actually
don't
isn't
touch
gonna
it,
fall out." And then
don't
it
touch
doesn't
it
sometimes. And sometimes when I fiddle with it too much, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then it
Mm-hmm.
falls out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I understand that.
Maybe those people just have a really strong practice with that, and so they're able to quiet those thoughts.
I just saw a TikTok that said, "You always get what you want, and if you don't get something, you don't want it." Do you
That's
guys
so
agree
nice.
or disagree?
I want to go to that person's home that wrote that and like inflict pain upon them.
Yeah.
And be like, okay.
And then I want to go
Please.
and then I want to go down to and then I want to go down to their basement, set all those ladies free.
I want to set all of those ladies free because we know that they're all down there because someone who writes that is a monster. Isn't
that demented? And she's obviously so stunningly beautiful, rail thin, and like sitting in her loft, like picking at a tomato plant, being like, "And if you don't get it, you never really wanted it."
Yeah, she also like just won the lottery.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, she was lucky enough. Well, she was lucky enough to want to.
She wanted to. She's like, every woman in my family has lived to be 120 years old, but never looks past 35. I'm like, okay, calm down. Everyone here needs to calm down.
So horses.
Okay, horses. So my great grandmother and my grandmother were both riders. My mom was like kind of a rider, but not really. It sort of skipped a generation.
Wow, I heard it does that.
It does. It's sort of like twins.
Yeah.
My mom bought my older sister a pony when she was, I was probably like 3. So she was like 9. And she was like, yeah, that's cute.
Is a pony just a young horse, or is a pony its own thing?
A pony is its own thing. They're
cool.
They're like tiny horses. They're like if someone shrunk a horse.
Okay.
But not like Lisa Vanderpump's mini horses, like bigger than that, right?
Bigger than that. Mini horses are also their own thing. Like mini horses are mini horses, but like a pony is a pony.
The Lisa Vanderpump horses are like it. Regular horses are gotta have it, and ponies are love it. To use Cold's own creamery sizing chart.
There we go. That's exactly it. 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops.
Full horse.
That's full horse. That's what we're dealing with.
I had Jenny's ice cream last night, and
really good.
You're right, but do you know when it's like, okay, you've named all these flavors in such a way where it's going to be a complete humiliation to place my order? Like,
it's always like Brambleberry Rhubarb Crunch Supreme. It's like,
well, cut to me saying, I'll have milkiest chocolate. Chocolate. Like, of course it was delicious, but I don't want to say the word.
So good.
I shouldn't be made as a 35-plus-year-old man living and working in Los Angeles, California, to say the word milkiest.
I'm loving 35 plus as well. I think that's what we like. Anything between 35 and 55 just needs to be 35 plus.
And I want to be clear that I'm 35 and a half.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, can you ride a pony? And of course, if that's a dumb question, then I didn't ask it.
It's stricken from the record. Like, can I physically ride a pony?
Do ponies? Now here's a question I'm about to
ask.
Or
like, can
ponies get ridden? Do ponies get ridden?
Oh. But what is this a euphemism for?
But
I went to when I go to what was it when I go to some guy's place?
Yeah.
When I go to some guy's place, I may or may not ride a pony. When I go to a place where I go.
There's a place where I go and a man's there.
There's a place where I go and a man's there, and I may or may not ride a pony.
And And there's a place where I go, a man's there, and let's just say ponies can be ridden.
And let's
Next
just say
question.
ponies can be ridden. This is the opening sentence to my autobiography. Ponies can be ridden. Ponies can be ridden.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Ponies are there's a very old saying that ponies are the cutest thing the devil ever made. They're like fucking monsters. I don't know why, but they are. And it's so funny because like children ride them and yet they're just like little fucking dickheads.
Like
always.
They're mean.
They're like mean and they're always like really sassy and they're kind of naughty. And I don't know why, but they are.
And they don't obey
Wow.
you. It is so interesting. Like
I'm really stuck on like pony versus horse. I need to let it go.
Pony for it's a thing.
Well, then you throw their twisted sister donkeys into the mix. And then
oh my god!
And it's like, what's going on? Y'all are the same exact shape. So chill out.
And then their little weird aunt, Mrs. Zebra.
Oh my god, zebras, and then mules, which are donkey horse mixed, but can't procreate.
They can't procreate with.
They can't go butt to butt.
No, mules cannot make more mules. A donkey and a horse can make a mule, but a mule cannot make a mule with another mule.
That's
so
fascinating.
Crazy.
They're what do you call? Yeah, they can't procreate.
I've never heard of this.
They're barren.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Oh, I'm learning so much already.
Okay. You guys, this is a full-on Nat Geo episode. We've talked about this is educational television for children right now.
100%.
Okay, so your mom gets your sister a pony.
My mom gets my sister a pony. She wants nothing to do with it.
Are you in New York? Were you New York based?
At this point, this was happening in Vermont. All the kids in my family were born in Vermont. The pony that my mom got for my sister was a white Shetland pony named Tinsel. Oh, and she was the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life. I mean, this is the stuff of fairy tales. So my sister was like, yeah, okay, she's cute. And I was like, this is my reason for living.
Oh, yeah.
Tinsel.
So sweet.
I loved her so. And then it just continued from there. And the love.
Wait, not to full trigger warning, but how old do ponies get?
So it totally depends. Ponies, maybe it's their ornery nature, often can like live longer than horses. It's it's just like the tiny dogs. Like, like the evil chihuahuas live to be
You're like,
42.
How do I get this through your thick skull?
And short people live longer than old people do. I mean, short people live longer than tall people.
Short people
live longer than
old people. Yep, short people do live longer than old people. It's been scientifically proven that short people live longer than old people. But horses and ponies can live like into their 30s. Tinsel lived to be like 32.
30s?
Yeah, but
32?
but like
literally
20s.
My age. Call me Tinsel. Call me Tinsel.
Catherine, you're in your Tinsel year.
In my Tinsel era.
That was just before your Jesus year.
I know. I can't wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
It goes Tinsel, Jesus, and then I don't know. 34 is just like, why do we even do 34? 34 should just be.
34 is a gap year.
It's a
Tinsel,
nothing.
Tinsel, Jesus, gap year, 35 plus.
35 plus. Yeah.
Dasha, what's your sign?
Aquarius.
Oh my God, beautiful. That means like interesting. Like
we're like,
girl.
Yeah, we're like kind of weird. We're sort of mercurial. We like march to the beat of our own drum.
Yeah. This is a cool question. Is Zodiac right about you and your husband? Like, does what the Zodiac say? Does what astrology say bear true to how you and your husband are with each other?
Like, I am both fascinated by astrology and also just like don't know enough about it to speak to it. And I feel like sort of like anything, sort of like having your tarot read. I feel like it has as much meaning as you're willing to find within it.
Totally. Well, it's like whenever I have a new crush, it's like, well, let me find the birthday and let me look to the stars to see if we are in fact meant to be. And if it says we're not, I'm like, well, this of course isn't real. But if it says we are, I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. My life is
Yeah.
forever.
You're like, it knew.
It knew.
It knew.
That I was to meet this person.
My husband is also an Aquarius.
Oh wow.
See,
and how
like,
did y'all meet and fall? Oh, sorry. I'm cutting out.
No. How did we meet and fall in love? We did a play together.
Wow.
That's the most romantic answer you ever could have had.
I know.
We did a play together. We fell in love immediately. We dated secretly for the whole run.
Hot.
Which was so hot and so fun until we got caught like 10 days before we closed.
How'd you get caught?
Butt to butt.
We got caught butt to butt. We got caught butt to butt. Because his dick is shaped like a corkscrew. Because he has a corkscrew dick.
Yes, my husband is an Aquarius duck. Calm down.
My husband is a mule, and his dick is shaped like a corkscrew.
My husband is a mule.
I said it.
My husband is a mule. We cannot create.
Don't die.
Really
Don't
hard.
die.
Don't die. Don't die. See, it's the best game ever. My family plays
really
Don't Die. And the other game that my family likes to play is That's a Big House.
Oh, it's so fun. My family plays a game around Christmas time where it's like my mom, like kind of like in ancient history, like I'm one of 6 kids and like truly no one knows when or why, but like we all got assigned very specific Christmas stockings that like, and I don't even think we got to pick them, but we all have like, this is our stocking.
Okay.
And so sometimes at like dinner table when we were growing up, like we would look over at them every year when it was like they were hanging up, and we would kind of have like debates over whose was the ugliest, and then everyone would cast a vote for the ugliest stocking, and then that person was eliminated, but they still had a vote in coming rounds, and then it whittled down to like who had the least ugly stocking. But everyone's stockings stayed the same each year, but there was always different winners and losers because different things jump out at you. I'm like, oh wait, that is actually so ugly. The way that is actually quite tacky, actually. And like you could win one year and then next year get voted out literally first as the ugliest. It's crazy.
Wait, also, sorry, that is such an exceptional game, and I want to play it so badly. I feel like that really speaks to like where you are in your life too. Like, wait, here's my question.
Totally. Oh, well, the stockings are a mirror. The stockings are a mirror.
The stockings are a mirror. Who has won ugliest? Is there like a certain stocking that has won the most?
Not that's jumping out to me right now.
Okay.
I'll say like mine is like a solid one, but it's never wins. Like I'm always like in the final 2 or 3.
What does yours look like?
At the end of the day, it's like too cartoonish because they're all kind of different stylistically. Mine's like ultimately too cartoonish to be the winner. Like it's just a Santa Claus, but it's so cartoony. Like my brother's is more like it's also a Santa Claus, but it's like more kind of antique-y, like the beard
naturalistic,
is actual strings are coming down, whereas mine is just like a cartoonish Santa.
His is more inspirational.
And then like one of my sisters is like a female snowman. Also known
a snowwoman, I think is what you mean.
A snowmaness. And
snowmaness. How do we know?
But, like
she's just like a
huge tits.
She's a snowman with a vagina. Just has a huge vagina.
What feminizes?
And that's where you put the toys in. They come through. Birth canal.
She birthed the toys. It was a new meaning to stocking stuffer.
He went there.
Just like it's a female snowman, and it's what feminizes the snowman is that it has like a woman's like straw hat on it that kind of is and comes out, and sometimes that's actually quite pleasing to look at. Sometimes it's like that's so cumbersome and like it's like what a stupid idea that is, and like why would this female snowman wear a sun hat? She would be melting. Like sometimes you just all of a sudden you're I hate that one.
Maybe she's like she's like afraid of skin cancer.
Yeah, like she must
is
run.
Pale.
It runs in her family. It runs in her family.
Because like, how do you apply SPF as a snow person?
Well, you can't. Your arms are sticks.
A snow being.
Well, you quite
a snowmaness.
Yeah.
A snowmaness.
But wait, so you're doing a play, but why did it have to be secret for professional reasons?
Well, not necessarily. You know, it was like when we met when we were quite young. We've been together for a really long time. And like the play was, there were 7 of us and we were all sort of around the same age. And I think
fun.
it was really, really fun. But I think we knew early on, we both felt like what we were getting into was heavy is the wrong word because that sounds like it has a negative connotation. But like, we were like, oh, this is something. This is something. But we like, for the most part, when you start dating someone, you kind of get to decide when you want to let other people in on the conversation, like when you introduce them to your friends or your family. But when you're in a work environment like that, when you're doing a play with 7 other people that are the same age, the chatter is just like, people are going to weigh in because it's already such an incestuous environment.
Yes.
And we just didn't really, we wanted to have that experience just be between the 2 of us at the beginning.
Was it electric to have a secret?
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you kidding? Okay. So our dressing rooms were this sort of like railroad apartment above the stage, and they were separated by a sliding door. So there were boys on one side and girls on the other. But there were snowmen and snowmanesses. But like we were all up on each other. Like, the girl sitting, it was like, by railroad apartment, I mean like, 10 feet of railroad. So everyone was sitting next to one another. So if your phone was on your dressing table next to you and it lit up with a text message, naturally, like without even really wanting to look, your eyes just like go to it, right? So
there's nothing like that moment.
When you see their name on your phone,
they're working in a lab to create a drug like it, and they haven't cracked the code yet.
They haven't figured it out. Oh, it makes me giddy just thinking about it. But I think it was him to me, sent me a text because everyone knew we were in love, and we were like, you guys.
That's when everyone knows, because you're so meant to be. There's
so meant to
it.
be. Everyone was like, you guys are in love. And we were basically like flat earthing it. We were like, we're obviously not. Just like hard denial. And then one day he texted me and someone was like, why is Evan texting you? So we saved each other under different names in our phone. And his first crush was this Italian actress named Silvana Mangano, which is also like so weird for like a teenage boy to be in love with this, like, not even Sophia Loren. She was like full, like she was like B-side. Exactly. And Silvana Mangano and Marcello Mastroianni had like this torrid love affair. So that's how we were saved in each other. And he's still saved as that in my phone.
That is so fun.
That's so romantic.
Pretty fun. So we would like, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, we would just like, text each other. We would like sext basically next door to each other, but like surrounded by people.
And when did you decide like we should get married? Like what made you be like, this is forever?
How long did you date beforehand?
We dated for 4 years, but apparently he had wanted to propose for like a full year beforehand, but he wanted to ask my dad, even though my dad and I are not close, and like he just fully didn't really care. Evan was like, I wanted to ask your dad, but every time he tried to hang out with my dad to ask him in person, my dad would cancel on him.
Oh my God.
So yeah, he tried for like a year. But I knew immediately, poor guy, like basically, a month into dating, I was like, when are we getting married?
Really?
Yeah. Wait, and okay, cool. And
so you like being married?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, should I do it?
I mean, like, what are in your pro con columns? Like, do you want to talk about it? Should we unpack this? Let's get into it. What's going on?
You know what I think it is? I think it's like you said you met young. I feel like even though I know I'm with who I want to be forever, there's something about being like still technically like single that makes me feel like, oh, I'm in this young chapter and I'm worried about like, I don't know, not having something to look forward to maybe.
I get that.
Yeah.
But Catherine, don't you also think, and Zosia, I don't know what your relationship with this program is, but like, but isn't I'm learning so much through my rewatch of Vanderpump Rules about
Yeah.
like about human nature, of course, and like isn't it quite an indictment on on marriage? No offense, Sasha, not on yours, but on other people's.
taken.
Do you watch Vanderpump?
I've never seen it.
Okay, so I used to be like you. And then 2 months ago, I was bored, and it's changed my life. If you want
Right.
to, if you want to like change your life for the worse,
if you want to be a better person, like
if you want to be a worse person,
I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm gonna do this weekend? I'm gonna binge The Perfect Wife and Vanderpump, and then I'm just never gonna leave my house ever again.
You have to report back. By the way, is my Wi-Fi still bad, or is everyone mad at me or not?
We're not mad.
No one's mad at you.
It's just
but I can tell it. I can tell it's still bad because of Pat's face. I can tell you're both like being nice to me.
Catherine,
and you're like,
you don't know my face. You don't know my face. You don't know my face. You don't know my expressions.
I can tell you both feel bad for me because you're like, oh, let her. You're like, let her in.
Let her in.
Do you think? I'm asking everyone this right now in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should put product in my hair like how it is now, or just wear it down, kind of like Caesar cut, like Tom Holland's new haircut? You don't have to answer right now, but you could email me in coming weeks.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it down. I've never seen it. I've never seen your beach wave, so I can't speak to that.
I'm just so back and forth on it right now. It's crazy.
Does it have to be like one camp or the other? Can it not be like a day-to-day thing?
Well, it's a classic thing, like, you know, when you're hooking up with someone and you're like trying to figure out, it's like, okay, they're definitely attracted to this way that I am, so I can't switch things up, because what if that means, you know what I mean? I'm like,
you don't want to rock the boat.
I don't want to rock the boat, but then you also have this other thing being like, well, what if that's the one thing where I was like, oh, he's doing his hair like that again, whatever, I like everything else. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but also if the boat rocking is one hairstyle versus another, then we have bigger things to worry about.
I know. Well, the good news is there are bigger things to worry about regardless. But,
great, fantastic. Also, obviously, the women in his basement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can I ask you, how did you go from horse girl to famous Hollywood movie star? Paint us a picture.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've fully achieved famous Hollywood movie star yet, so I'll let you know when I get there.
What was your very first thing? You know, I loved you. You were so good in Mad Men.
Oh,
yes, that was major.
That was iconic.
What was your first big job where you're like, holy shit?
Yeah.
Probably that.
Yeah. That was major.
Probably that.
I think that's when you entered my life in such a huge way.
As Joyce Ramsey?
As Joyce Ramsey, yeah.
Did you always want to be an actor?
Always.
Oh,
always.
The best.
Yeah. Never wanted to do anything else.
Were you like a theater kid in high school, or what was your vibe?
And did you have boyfriends in high school?
And did you have boyfriends?
And did you have boyfriends in high school? Okay.
Oh my god, I'm trying not to touch them. I'm trying to, you know what we need?
Yeah.
We just need, I guess you would just call them headphones. I'm like, we need something to go over the ear pods. And I'm like, oh, that's just fucking headphones. That's just what those are. They're just actually headphones.
We could get you one of those dog collars.
Yeah. I need that. I need that, but for this.
The cone, yeah.
I saw a guy yesterday when I was walking my dog who it was like a headband, but they were headphones.
Okay.
But it was like they were ear pods, but then with like an adjustable headband. And I was like, okay.
That's so funny. That's classic, like how streaming TV is becoming linear TV, where it's like there's an advancement made.
We're just going,
they keep advancing it till it's what it was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's going to be back to cable and like rotary phones soon.
Yeah. I would love it.
Good. Take me back.
Is there anything chicer? Is there anything chicer in the entire world than dialing someone on a rotary phone? Is there anything like it?
Well, no, until I fuck up the number and then I have to start over, and then I'm like, this is why these don't exist anymore.
Did you ever have to, like, and this might speak to the 3-year age difference between me and Catherine, but did you ever have to, like, I remember being in high school and like it was kind of before like cell phones were ubiquitous, and like and there was payphones at the school, and like when I needed to be picked up, I would call my parents collect, but then like in the little space where you're supposed to say your name, where it's like, you've got to collect a call from, I'm like, I'm about to go, I need to ride home, and then like hang it up. And then they wouldn't accept the call, and they would come pick me up. You have a collect call from, I need to ride home right now. Will you accept the charges? No.
Oh my God, what a formative memory.
That's so
I love
funny.
that so much. You guys, I saw a payphone the other day. I don't remember where I was. Where was I? I can't remember, but I saw a payphone and it was like I saw the Loch Ness monster. I like gasped
Yeah,
when I saw it. And
I
it
know.
felt somehow exciting, but also kind of like wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange.
Well, it feels like someone leaving behind their trash. Like, oh, no one threw this out. Like someone
Oh,
clean up.
maybe I felt sad and I was like, why do I feel sad? But now it's maybe because I'm like, oh, they forgot about you. They
Yeah,
left you here to
yes.
rot.
They've been
Oh,
abandoned, and no one's
and
used that
I'm
phone in
still
so
where
long.
you left
Yeah.
me. Help, right?
That's
Right.
exactly right. That's what that payphone is
I
singing
feel like
over and over again in his head.
I know. I feel like you guys can't hear me, so I'm just like, right, I'm still at the restaurant. I'm in my own little box over here.
How about I'm on a payphone dying to drive home.
Oh my
Or
God.
that. Or that.
That was your range was really good there.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Zosia, what do you think about how my voice is? I have to ask you all the questions that I would want to ask
The
someone like you. Yeah. What do you think about how my voice is? And remember, it can't be changed.
It cannot be changed. Oh my God, you guys, my dad told me that once when I was first starting out. He came into my room randomly. I was like 16, 17, and he was like, just FYI, like, you can change your voice. Like, you're
Oh my
not well
God.
known enough yet. Like, you could change your voice. And I was like,
Change your
Wait.
speaking voice?
wait, what?
No, you're-
What?
That is
Yeah.
so funny.
Oh my God.
You have an amazing voice.
It's
That
so
happened. But it's
special.
but it's so
Wow.
specific. It's so specific. You know, I like to think it's like it's an acquired taste. It's maybe not for everyone.
I love it. Wait, okay.
I love your voice. I love your voice. It never changed.
You don't have to
You
say
can't,
that.
but-
You're humiliating. Yeah. Well, connect me with your father, and I
Yeah.
want to get his
You want to talk to my
contacts.
dad?
His
You wanna
voice
talk about-
changing.
He was like, you know, all those movie stars, who did like Cary Grant, like they don't sound like what they did at first. And I'm like, do you want me to sound like Cary? Can you guys imagine if I sounded like Cary Grant, if that was the choice that I made for my career?
What if I started doing this podcast in a Cary Grant voice?
Honestly,
It's time.
I can't wait.
Wait, so in high school, so sorry, we're getting so sidetracked only because we've gone to talk to you for
know.
so long. But
I
what
know.
did you have boyfriends in high school? What, Catherine, what was your question again? And also
Theater,
yeah.
boyfriends, yeah, and
Theater and boyfriends, the two questions, the two genders.
Those are definitely the most. Oh, and why did no one like you that you're a horse girl? They just thought that was like annoying.
Oh,
of
why
you?
did no one like me? Okay.
New segment. Why did no one like
okay.
you?
Yeah. Why did no one like me? Okay. Cool. Did I have boyfriends in high school? Not really. Well, that's a lie. Yes. Okay. I was a late bloomer. Also,
Yeah.
Horse girl. Shocking, right? She was late bloomer. I had my first kiss when I was 16 at my sweet 16 party, and my stepfather caught it on camera because it happened at the exact moment that everyone came out to sing me happy birthday with the cake. So that exists on camera somewhere
that's
in the world.
beautiful.
And then yes, I had one boyfriend in high school, we were very like the least likely people you would expect to date, but we dated and fell madly in love.
Was he a jock? No,
he was like a cool kind of bad boy.
Cool.
And I was
like artsy.
Like artsy. Yeah, he was like the king of the photography class.
Hot. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he spent like most of 8th grade coming to school in like pink bunny ears.
No.
Oh, interesting.
So like weirdo. And somehow I was just so like, I was such a late bloomer. I'm also like, I'm the last person to know when someone is doing drugs. And somehow just like fully escaped me that he was dealing drugs to like all of the west side of Los Angeles.
Wow.
He would I would spend the night at his house, and he would like get up at 3 a.m. and go downstairs and come back. And I'd be like, what were you doing? He'd be like, oh, I was just like checking on the plants. And I was like, okay, cool.
So you were a good girl.
I was a good girl until I wasn't. I was a good girl and then took like a sharp left.
Say more.
That's an amazing sentence. And that's
I was a good girl until I wasn't.
Yeah. You should die right now. You should die right now.
I
Die now, die
honestly,
now.
Die.
do it. Kind of great last words.
Yeah.
I was like a total good girl. Like, just didn't know what anything was. Like, wasn't a party kid. Like, came home on time. Didn't lie about stuff. And then I don't even know what happened. I think that was like, the thing is, I never really liked partying. Like, I've always been like 76 in my soul. Like, love an early bedtime.
Yes. There's
Love a
nothing like that.
healthy breakfast.
What's your
love a
go-to
dinner
breakfast?
party.
What's your go-to breakfast?
I'm pretty obsessed with eggs.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're like life's. They're God's gift.
Yeah.
I think it's like normally eggs.
Are you a fitness girl?
I mean, yes, in that I love moving the bod, love a good sweat, love a good workout. You know, endorphins make you happy, as Elle says.
Yeah.
And happy
I was
people.
like, where have I heard that?
I do it so I don't kill my husband.
Yeah.
Happy people just don't kill their husbands. I mean, I ride, like, normally that's my main source of fitness.
Right.
Oh, you're still doing horses. You're still on horses.
You guys. For life. For always. It's a sickness.
I should get into that. Well, I was going to ask, like, when you're not working, how do you like to unwind? Like, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not busy?
I mean, like, we travel so much, and we when we're on the go, we're like fully on the go. So when we're not working, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of just like domesticity, hardcore. We cook, we hang with our dog. I ride just like as much as possible. It's basically like riding and yoga. Those are like
how do you guys deal with doing long distance so much?
I mean, it's fucking hard. It's not fun. We try and avoid it whenever we can, but then like sometimes it's just like he booked a job like a week before I booked my last job, and his was shooting in North Carolina and mine was shooting in Vancouver. But like, as you know, we had just been on like a historic strike, and there was nothing getting made, and the stuff that was pretty terrible. And we both had this opportunity of like these jobs that we both were like, these things are good and seem fun. And we were like, fuck. But what are you going to do?
But don't you think does it kind of keep it fresh, fun, and exciting?
You know, it's funny. I was talking about this earlier, actually. Like, it's not necessarily something that I would have chosen, because it is hard and we hate being away from each other. And I think the hardest thing is just when you're in a long-term relationship, I think you realize that like so much of it is just the being around one another. It's like sleeping next to each other and breathing the same air and just like passing each other in the kitchen. Like, it's not like we're doing crazy things every night or constantly going out to dinners. It's just like it's the cohabitating. And so when you take that away, it can feel really strange. And especially when you're both working and like there's not a lot of time to connect, or like your experiences, like, you guys know when you're on set, stuff that is fucking hilarious to you that you recount at the end of the day, the other person is like, okay. And you're like, no, it was so funny. And they're like, because like they don't have any fucking context for it. So you're living these two very rich, full lives, but like I never was on his set. He was never on mine. So like, you don't really have context for the other person's experience. Yeah. And then also sometimes at the end of the day, there's like not a lot to report.
Right.
So I don't think that necessarily it's the distance that keeps it fun, fresh, and exciting, but it's the fact that like, we know we have to work harder and like put more energy into our relationship and like be more conscious of it and tend to it a little bit more because we're apart. That I think is the thing that like maybe helps with its longevity.
What do you think about this moment? What do you think about this moment where, say you're having a new crush or someone you're like newly spending time with, and you're walking down the sidewalk next to each other, and maybe you're walking like from a restaurant to a car, and it's like that kind of space, and you're like, we should be talking right now, but then you can't think of anything to say. Is that really bad or is it fine?
I still do that sometimes, like in the car next to my husband, who I've been with for 12 years.
I know, but in long terms, it is different because you're like, of course we have something to say, but like when it's new, is it so bad if you can't think of something to say?
No, I think
There's
that
not
like,
always.
okay, someone once told me this, and I have no idea if it's true or not, but we're just gonna say like the duck's corkscrew dick that it is.
Yeah.
That when those moments happen, or like, you know, sometimes it happens like at a dinner party or something where like
Yeah,
everyone's
yes.
talking and laughing, and all of a sudden there's this lull in
Oh
conversation.
my God, yes. I'm tensing inside as you say it.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. But apparently that's like a leftover thing from the caveman days when like everybody had a moment of being like, okay, this is fun, well and good, but like we need to check for tigers.
Oh,
What?
interesting. That's so interesting. That is I've decided
Oh,
that is
I heard
true.
it was like an angel passing through.
Well,
Or that.
It's but why not both?
It can be both.
It goes quick. There's an angel, and is there a tiger?
And yeah, it's hold for angel and tiger check.
Yes. And if you can't think of anything to say, it must be because you don't want to think of anything you say. Because
Sure.
if you wanted something, you would get it.
If you
for saying
wanted
that.
something, you would get it. Welcome to my perfect life.
Yeah.
Wait, okay.
I'm
And now- so
traumatized.
That's kind of who you are, and then who do you want
Yeah.
to be?
Who do you want to be?
What's
What's your dream? Or
what's
you
the final
already-
form?
Okay, you
Yeah.
guys. There's this 6-year-old girl on Instagram who lives in like Sweden or somewhere better than the United States. And she's a tiny, tiny horseback rider. And she's already jumping. She has 3 ponies, and they're jumping like 6 feet. And she's
Up?
this little tiny bat, like over, like the jump
Yeah.
is 6 feet, and she and her little ponies are just like
Oh,
whipping
wow.
around the ring.
That must be so
That's
crazy.
scary.
That's who I
Yeah.
want to be.
Yeah. So are you now when you're on these horses, Sasha? Are you having them jump?
I am. Yes.
Wow.
What do you wear? Do you wear like the outfit?
Yeah.
Oh, I wear, yeah, the full,
Oh my
I love
God.
the
the full
look. The
shebang.
regalia.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the boots. I love well wait, Lisa Vanderpump rides horses, so you'll like her helmet.
I can't wait. Oh,
I
does
have
she
so
have a
much
she has a snazzy helmet. Lisa
We have so much
Vanderpump and
to
I
look
are
forward
probably
to.
we're the same person.
Yeah. That's quite clear.
Yeah. Didn't even really need to be said, but I figured I should say it anyways.
That sounds amazing. And then I guess our next segment would be, do you guys have a crush of the week? It can be a person, place, thing, idea, anything.
I had one earlier. I thought of one, and now I'm like, what was it again? Do you have one, Catherine?
Huh. Let me think. Oh, wow.
I
It's
know.
It's hard. There's just so much to talk about.
I know.
And angels passing through right now.
An angel's passing through. I don't see any tigers, but it doesn't mean they're not there.
I think, you know what my crush of the week is like, I've been traveling a lot, and there's something so nice but when you get to a new space and you just put out all your things because you don't have that much with you, and you can see like everything you have, like that feeling of just like, this is everything I have, everything's in its place, and like here I am. Like that's such a good feeling.
Question. I sometimes when I'm traveling, I have this feeling of like, because what I have brought with me is normally like my favorite things, and it's like a deeply truncated version of what I exist within. And I often feel like I am my highest self when I'm like in a fucking hotel room with like, 2 pairs of jeans and 4 pairs of shoes. And then I'm like, I need to go home and throw away everything else other than these things. But then I never do.
Yeah.
No. You're like, then you see them and you're like, well, I might use this.
Yeah, I might. I've never worn it in 15 years. It doesn't fit. It's broken, but I should keep it.
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
Okay, my crush of the week is a specific thing. It's the so I went to the San Vicente bungalows with BSJ and Jared on Monday, and it was like it's Sunday Mondays there. And so for free at the end, they bring you this like platter of a sundae if you go on a Monday.
God.
And it's like
Sunday Monday. It's like Give that person a raise.
Die.
would-
Honestly,
would-
die.
I was trying to explain to this person, to someone last night, like Sunday Mondays, and I don't think they call it that. I think they were like, "There's free Sundays today," and I think I was like, "Oh, so it's Sunday Mondays," and they were like, "I
Oh,
guess."
so you're the genius.
But I was trying to explain to someone last night, and I was like, "Yeah, it's Sunday Mondays," and they
It's
were
Sunday
like,
Mondays.
and they were like, "Wait, so you work on Saturdays?" And I was like, "What?" And they're like Sunday is your like Sunday is your Monday, and I was like, "No, like
You're
it's
like
not."
AE,
Wires
AE.
crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
AE, babe.
they bring you a goblet of like vanilla soft serve
Oh,
towering, and then like all these little
yum.
like accoutrement around it, like Heath bar and like peanut M&Ms and like hot fudge and like whipped cream, and it's all very kind of like artisanal, and it was
So
so
you make
good.
your own Sunday Monday.
You make your own Sunday
You
Monday.
make your own Monday Sunday.
But
Yes.
can I ask,
It was so good. It was the
but
best
can
thing I ever
ask-
had. It was the best thing I ever had.
But
What?
Pat, was it with like a yogurt or like an actual ice cream?
No,
Because-
it was full, like real. It was as real as you and I. It was,
Okay,
it was as
thank
real.
Wait, I have a question to that point. Is a Sunday without ice cream? Like, can you have? I think
No, you're right. Like a
I think
yogurt.
no.
Then it's just like then you're just like at Pinkberry, like depressed.
yeah.
I know, but I will say, like, frozen yogurt is really like it wasn't frozen
No.
yogurt, but frozen
It
yogurt
is
frozen
good, but it's
yogurt.
not when you have the original, you're like, okay, this is what they based it on, and there's a
Yeah,
reason why.
Have you guys ever been to the Big Chill
no,
No,
it's
in
what's
not.
LA?
that?
Oh my god, it's just like a frozen yogurt place, but I don't know why we always used to go there in high school, and like the sign is from 1945. And
Someone was
it's when-
just telling me about like a frozen Greek yogurt place on the west side somewhere that was like really good, but I forget now what it was called. But they were like, "You'll have
it
to
could
go."
be that.
It could be.
I mean,
it
it's
could be-
it's literally just regular frozen yogurt, but for some reason it feels special.
yeah. Well, it sounds quite special. The sign and all.
The sign
Yeah,
being
the
so
sign
old
is-
and everything. What with
The
the sign
sign-
being so old?
Well, with the sign being so old and special. I think my crush of the week is also food related. And I don't know if this is because our craft service guy, well, I learned this on my last job, that craft service and medic in Canada are the one and the same.
Oh my god.
That like,
Interesting.
because like
Interesting
our-
mashup.
one day my shoulder was all fucked up, but I was also hungry and I was at base camp and I was like, hi. Our set was far away. I was like, would it be possible to ask if the medic has like something in the Tiger Bomb vicinity? And also like, can I get X, Y, or Z for a snack? And it was like our first week of shooting and I hadn't met either our crafty or our medic yet. And this guy showed up and he was like, I have Tiger Bomb and snacks. And I was like, Jesus.
Oh my god. The Canadian healthcare system is amazing.
It's amazing. They feed and take care of you.
That's
but
crazy.
that was crazy. But he had these little chocolate bars that taste like Almond Joys,
Oh my god.
but it's just like
Ooh.
coconut covered with dark chocolate.
That's
Yum.
so
And they're so good.
it's such an interesting part of culture, like the almond joy mounds dichotomy.
Mhm. Well, when you grow up and you learn the truth that they're delicious.
It's like that's what you learn in school. You learn like stalagmites versus stalactites, and you learn almond joy versus mounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
And
they're
then
I
like
remember,
the
like-
loser of candy.
Yeah. My mom being like,
Yeah.
I'll take those. And then you grow up and you
Yeah.
go, I get why my mom wanted those.
You're like old people candy, but then you're like, oh, actually, it's delicious. But maybe that's because we're old people.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing as like onions and mayo, where when you're little you think they're gross.
Best foods
and
ever.
They're the best thing you could ever imagine.
I did a disgusting thing when I was little. I don't know why my mother used to let me do this. Like if she'd be, and also like, why was there an open jar of mayonnaise on the counter? But I have these like very vivid memories of sitting on the counter and there being an open jar of mayonnaise next to me, and I would shove my hand into it, and then I would just like lick the mayonnaise.
Oh, so you were a mayonnaise child.
I was a full I mean,
MC.
You
You were an
horse girl.
MC.
You were a horse girl mayonnaise child.
I was a horse girl mayonnaise child. Okay. Here, you guys, this is a continuous debate that happens in my house, and I'm very curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell
Okay.
you which side of the camp I'm on. Is peanut butter a food or a condiment?
It's not a
Wow.
condiment. It's not a condiment.
It's not a condiment. It's you know what it is? It's a spread.
Interesting.
If forced to decide between food or condiment, I would say I think food. Do you think
Okay.
condiment?
I think food, because I think
Yeah.
you would eat it on its own, right?
Yeah, you would never put it on top. It's very few things you'd put it on top of.
Well, I would put it on top of so many things.
I would
Like
also
what?
put it on top of so many things, but I would
No,
also
you guys.
eat
No,
it on its own.
No, because you're not putting it, like, if you're putting it on a banana, it's not like a banana with peanut butter on top. It's like, oh, I'm eating peanut butter and banana.
No, but
Yes,
it's also
yes. Okay, I would agree with that. Yes.
And also,
Thank
yeah,
you.
there's so much. Yes, and it's a food, but you would never eat ketchup on its own, probably.
I would not.
Yeah,
People do, but I wouldn't.
yeah, I wouldn't either.
No.
No.
But if you're listening and you eat ketchup on its own, like, this podcast is for
You're
you
beautiful
too.
and you're worthy of
yeah.
love, and you deserve everything.
Yeah.
And if you don't have what you want, it's because you don't want it.
It's because
Yeah.
you don't want it.
You don't want to not eat ketchup on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Now
its own.
to wrap it up, do you guys feel hot today or no?
I'll go. I can start. What? Oh, you start. Sorry.
No, you start. You start.
No, you start. I wasn't sure if. Okay. Oh, I don't really feel hot today, but like that's okay.
Yeah.
Are we talking body temperature or like internal being? Like what do
Internal
I see when I
being.
what do I see when I
Yeah.
look in
Like-
the mirror?
You feel in your
Yeah,
sexual
like-
power. In your sexual power,
Yeah.
do you feel a magnetism around you?
I would say not particularly. I sort of woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You know when you wake up and you've slept enough, not the vibe where you slept too much and you're like, oh, I slept too much and now I
Yeah.
have sleep hangover, but you're like, I slept the right amount. Why am I just like
Yes, and it's
slow
worse.
today?
It's the worst because you've done nothing wrong.
You've done nothing wrong. I did nothing
Not
wrong.
a
I
jury
went to
in the
bed at-
world could convict you.
Like
Yeah.
literally, they could not. There's reasonable doubt there.
Yeah.
The perfect wife.
Oh my God, you guys! The Perfect Wife new episode of Presumed Innocent is out today. Cannot
Oh, I'm
wait.
excited. I haven't
Oh.
started yet, but I heard it's really good.
And
It's so
someone just-
good.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
And
It's so
friend of the
good.
pod, Nana Mensa is in it.
Oh, is she?
Shout out.
And
Oh.
do shout out.
My mom at dinner a few nights ago revealed she has a crush on who she called Jake Gyllenhaal. So shout out to my mom and Jake. I'm shipping them.
Shout out to
Your mom.
I wonder if Gyllenhaal should also be with a silent J. If it should be Yake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
I'm
I
gonna
wonder
put
if-
my boyfriend in my phone as Yake Gyllenhaal, so no
What if
one
you-
knows.
No one will ever know.
What if your mom ends up writing a new All Too Well about Jake Gyllenhaal?
It would be a
Because he breaks
twist.
your heart. Yeah.
20-minute version, Lisa's version.
Lisa's version. All Too Well, Lisa's version.
I love that.
I don't feel hot because I want to talk about this for the next 6 months. I am jet lagged, and I want to continue that. I want to push that narrative for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And so I feel a little and I feel, actually, can I be honest with you guys? I feel so sad that my Wi-Fi was bad because I know that if the three of us were in person, it would be like electric Kiki. And I just know, I just want everyone to know that we have to just hold space for what happened today.
But no one will know because we'll fix it in post. And also no one, it did not affect the electricity of the moment.
And we will have an electric Kiki one day. We will have it
Yeah,
one
we will.
day.
And
It
we'll,
will
you know what we
happen.
should get? Sunday Mondays.
And we'll do a special. And we're going to do a special. It's going to be a televised special. Pat, Kat, and Zosia and the electric Kiki.
And the electric Kiki over Monday, Sundays with real ice cream.
Yeah.
And our last segment of the whole pod. First of all, thank you so much for being with us. You're the best.
Oh my
We just
God.
love. We've been fans of you for so long. Thanks for chatting. We can't wait to watch the Decameron on Netflix.
Yes,
Shout
yes,
out.
Decameron.
Shout out. Are y'all mad at me?
Not at all. I feel for you because we've all been in that space. Like we've all been in
Totally.
that space.
It's so relatable.
Yeah.
0% angry.
Fab. Okay.
Are y'all mad at me?
Not at all. You were carrying the torch that I could not lift today.
I know, but did I carry it well enough? Is what history will
was-
decide. Is what history will
beautiful.
decide. Yeah.
You carried it exactly as you were supposed to.
Yeah. Thank you. Zasha, are you mad at us for how we are?
No.
Um,
First of all, I'm not really a person who gets angry. So,
That's amazing.
Wow. How do I be like that?
well, it's not necessarily a good thing. It's kind of a double-edged sword because there are times where like I should. So like
Yeah.
Really?
where is that going? Probably internalizing in my stomach issues.
So when you're
Like-
upset, you mean you just get more like internal and sad as opposed to like lashing out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not like I think sometimes anger has like I think anger is warranted sometimes and like it's good
Yeah.
gets it out. But no, I'm not mad at either of you.
Thank
You're
you
both
so
beautiful.
much.
Beautiful and perfect.
And we are not mad at you, and we will wrap up.
Live, laugh, love, and when a heart breaks, it don't break even. And that is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Treatment. If you're boring as fuck, seek treatment. If you're unlucky in love, seek treatment. If you just can't take a hint, well, seek treatment. With Kat
And Pat.